Hi, good night, everybody.
Hello. Hello. Hi, good night, everybody. That should exactly be what Pennsylvania voters should say to Fetterman. Hi, good night, John. Are you paying attention yet? Are you? Well, let's bring in another Pennsylvania hopeful, Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate, Doug Mastriano. Doug, thank you for joining us. You know, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. It's not about that because we've talked about this all day and all afternoon. But how about the Philadelphia Inquirer saying that that Fetterman beat Oz last night? What are your thoughts on the way the media is treating that?
Houston, we have a problem. These guys are freaking nuts. Are you kidding me? How could anyone without any, nuts or brains, what have you, say that Fetterman is completely unfit for office? Could you imagine, Eric, if that was a Republican candidate? They'd be destroying him. He needs to step aside and do the right thing. But at least he had the courage to actually stand up toe-to-toe with Oz. My opponent, Shapiro, the attorney general, he refuses to debate me. I offered him 70-some days ago and keep offering him, and he's running and hiding.
You know, Doug, so some of the most important issues facing America, I would say Pennsylvania are ground zero for some of those. So we can talk a little bit about, let's start with crime. You know, recently the Pennsylvania, a district attorney in Pennsylvania said crime is racist. Listen.
What we see here is the same old playbook, which is about coded and racist messaging. It's about blaming the biggest city in Pennsylvania with the most diverse population for having the same national struggle that we have with gun violence everywhere, and even having increases that are less than the committee's counties.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was talking about last, but he was talking about Philadelphia almost every day. Doug, we have video of some insane crime video, what's going on in Philadelphia. How will Doug Mastriano change the rampant crime running in Pennsylvania cities?
Yeah, and I know crime was a hot topic last night, but, a U.S. senator can't do anything for crime at the state level. And so I'm going to move in rapidly. On day one, we'll be a law and order state. And how we affect that is obviously working with the General Assembly, which is Republican. We need to re-elect a Republican General Assembly to fund the police, to have a culture that has the back of the police, to surge special prosecutors into Philadelphia to hold criminals accountable, to end this culture of early release. And for instance, our current Governor Wolf and the guy I'm running against, Shapiro, they've released between 8,000 and 10,000 criminals early. I mean, we're talking 1,000 carjackings this year in Philadelphia, 4,400 burglaries. We're looking at fourth highest in fentanyl deaths in the nation, and it's a revolving door right now. And I'm told 70% of those released early from prison, cashless bail too, by the way, in the southeast of the state, are committing crimes within the next couple of days after being released, usually on the victims or those that call the police on them.
Doug,
we have to affect.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but the crime video we just saw outside the gas station was Wawa. Here's the inside of Wawa. Remember this one where there's just an absolute ransacking of a Wawa. Wawa pulled out of Philadelphia, a couple of their stores because of this stuff.
Yeah, and that mayhem in Wawa was in the Mayfair district north of the city, and that's a nice area too, Eric. And so we see now spilling outside of the inner city. Now it's going to the suburbs. We're seeing carjackings, moms taking their kids to school in the morning outside of Philly, and it's just completely collapsing. And the thing is, Eric, the reason why I'm talking a lot about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is a lot more than Philadelphia, but that is the epicenter of Democrat policies. They've had Democrat mayors for 70 years, Democrat city council for 58 years. And that's exactly the natural outcome and result of failed Democrat policies that are soft and easy on crime. And they don't care about the victims. And you know what? It's time for Philadelphia. You've tried Democrat policies for 70 years now. It's time for a change. And Doug Mastriano is going to affect that change.
And that Krasner, that DA was talking about Philadelphia. And if you talk about it in the media, if you talk about crime in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, you're a racist, didn't you know? The other issue that I would say that Philadelphia represents all of America is in the energy business. I remember, if I'm 20 years in the business, if I remember right, the first barrel of oil was pulled out of the state of Pennsylvania in America. But going forward, a huge fracking state as well. Throw up that headline of a diesel shortage, folks. There's a diesel shortage spreading across America. They're saying there's a 25-day supply, and we're at stake. By the way, if truckers shut down, that's the lifeblood of the economy of America. They make everything happen city to city. Doug.
1859, the first oil well was in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is blessed with one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. And we have high quality coal, we have high quality oil. So on day one of my administration, a lot of my economic renaissance and revival of our state will come in the energy sector. We're going to be out of the carbon tax, which has driven up prices. So we're going to attack inflation by driving down energy prices. We're going to roll back 8 years of regulations on the energy sector so they can start producing and be productive. We're going to open up state lands. I'm looking at a pipeline of natural gas from the southwest of the state to Philly and the Erie, so it can be a net exporter. I already have commitments from NATO allies that they want to buy Pennsylvania natural gas so it can stop being addicted.
I'll give you a tough one, Doug. I'll give you a tough one. You want a fastball, but not necessarily right over the plate, low and away, tough to hit. Refineries. America needs refineries. We haven't built a major refinery since 1976. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, between maybe even some of the other cities in Pennsylvania would be a great place for a massive refinery supplying the state and maybe some other surrounding states. Would Governor Doug Mastriano be okay? Would he approve refineries in Pennsylvania land?
Not just yes, but heck yes. Also, our natural gas industry, they tell me that they have the capability now, they just need a refinery to convert that natural gas to actually gasoline for the cars. I mean, we have this potential here to become #1 in the nation and a real dominant energy power. And so the money will come into the state, good jobs, and we'll turn things around. You know, we're just more than another gubernatorial race. This is where our nation was birthed, and we have the economic potential with our energy sector to really turn the corner on this crisis we're finding ourselves in with Biden inflation.
Yep, we're going to leave it right there. Doug Mastriano. Good luck, Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate. Thanks for joining us, Doug.
God bless you, brother.